Hello there. In today's video I've come down to Hawes in Yorkshire. I've come to a waterfall called Cotter. Now it's a waterfall I've been to before. It was on my old channel before it got all deleted. So I thought, since I'm up this way anyway, why not go and get some images of it. Now it's roughly it's a nice roadside parking, but it's roughly about quarter of a mile to the waterfall itself. And if you look behind me, although it is massively overexposed, the views are absolutely fantastic. Got a lot of buttercups out in the fields, so it's creating a nice yellow hue on the fields, and I may find myself getting some photos of that later. But for now, let's get down to this beautiful waterfall. Let's get some images in. Now, finally made it to Cotter. I've just got in the water and I found a composition which obviously is behind this tree at the minute. I've got my camera set up looking underneath this tree, using it as a frame for the waterfall. So I thought I'd get this shot before I went and got the obvious ones. Put a bit of video here to show you what I'm seeing. As you can see, I've got these branches leading across the image. They're creating a nice frame for the waterfall in the background, and that waterfall in the background, I'm seeing all the fall through that gap. I've got all the added textures of the bark and all the moss on the rocks leading up to the waterfall. Now I'm only doing that in one shot. I could focus stack it and get the whole image sharp, but I want to make it look a bit more natural, so I'm going to go focus roughly in the middle of the image and get everything as sharp as I can front to back, but I'm going to accept the blurriness that comes from the natural physics of the lens. I'm going to get that shot in first, and then I'm going to go a bit close to the waterfall to get the obvious shots in. Okay, so I've been to Cotter. I think I've been about 8 or 9 times, and those times have always been either in winter or in autumn. So I've got photos of this in autumn, I got it in winter where it's bare, but I've never actually got it when it's all lush and green like this in the middle of summer. And the image I've got today, I'm actually looking under this overhanging branch here, which is actually creating some nice foreground and a nice frame for the waterfall, looking straight at the waterfall using this log here as a lead off into the image. I've also got all these rocks dappled around, creating a bit of extra interest in that image. I'm using the polarizer to take the glare off the water, make the water nice and dark as well. This is very clear water, but it does have a little bit of peat content, so the rocks and everything in the water do have that normal brown look that you associate with peaty water. So I'm making it darker using the polarizer. That's my first shot. My second shot's going to be in the middle, and my third shot's going to be at the other side. I'm going to do my usual 1, 2, 3 across the waterfall, and then we'll see if there's anything else to be had. Okay, so for this next image, I'm set up down here with the camera looking at these rocks that you can see leading off to the waterfall, and in the background I'm actually going to get a good shot of the bridge that goes across the top of the waterfall. Nothing much to write home about, it's the rocks that make up the foreground and the foliage framing the waterfall that actually makes the image. But overall, I do think it's a good image, especially with the water flow we've got at the moment, with that water coming down over those mosses. That's my middle shot. Now I'm going to go under those branches just over there. I'm going to set up for my next side shot. Hopefully we can get some nice overhang of those branches, keep them nice and still, looking sort of to the side of it. It's shallow enough today that I may be able to get quite a good shot, quite close up, around the sides of each waterfall as well. I don't know if I can get that way, but I can definitely get that way, so I think there's a good image to be had. Now, as suspected, I'm getting some nice overhang from these bushes here. I've set my composition so these are just creeping into the image. You're seeing the waterfall kind of framed by these leaves. I'm not sure what tree this is. Possibly an oak, but I'm not too sure. But it is creating a nice frame. There is a nice arch to the image that goes over the waterfall nicely. I'm going to step a bit further back and try and get more of that arch in, with the waterfall being prominent in the image. Either way, both those images I've just got, they're coming up now. Now, that last image was a bit difficult to get because there is a bit of wind moving the branches, moving the trees, so unfortunately it's not possible to get the image without any movement. Onto this one though, I've come a bit further around. As you can see, the waterfall's behind me. I've got this overhanging tree here forming up a nice interest in the sort of foreground, as well as the mossy rocks. But that tree is lit up by the sun at the moment, so that's creating a nice lit up image in front of the waterfall. So I'm just going to catch that now, and then for my next shot I'm going to go under this little sort of archway here where this ivy is. I'm going to try and get an image with the ivy looking side on at the waterfall. I think that ivy will add something to the image, and just like this branch did. Either way, let me know what you think. So there we go, as you can see the camera's set up behind me, quite precariously just underneath there. It's looking through the ivy at the waterfall, and I've got a really nice sort of a shot of the waterfall there. That's creating quite an almost foreign look to the waterfall. It's creating the kind of image you'd expect to get on a holiday or see on a holiday brochure. And so far, I'm actually quite liking it. Now I've had to drop my shutter to a tenth of a second to make sure I've got the detail in the water and remove some of the highlight that's coming from the sun, which is blazing on it right now. Once again, the polarizer is taking the glare off the rocks and off the water, and it is adding a stop of ND filter as well. Overall, I'm quite happy with how that shot's come out. If it turns out to be any good on the computer, here it comes. Okay, so that's brought an end to my time at Cotter Force. It's a beautiful waterfall. I do enjoy coming here. It's been great to get out. That's going to be it for these videos. I'm hoping to get out again soon. We're getting close to my holiday and I can't wait. Also getting close to October when I get a decent camera again. In the meantime, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed the images. At least I hope you enjoyed seeing them as much as I enjoyed making them. I'm not sure what's coming up next, but stay tuned to the channel because there's always going to be something. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.